Hello, everybody. Welcome. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Highland, a Beavis and Butthead rewatch podcast. My name is Chris Paul.
And I'm Drew Malkins.
We're here today to talk about the new episodes. New Beavis and Butthead just aired today, September 5th.
Yeah.
It aired yesterday, actually. So already messed that up. Aired yesterday. We watched it today. We just watched it. So we're just here. We wanted to record our initial impression. Give a quick review on these new episodes as they come out. And then we will eventually get to our normal sort of breakdowns that we'll be doing on these when we in 10 years when we get to these episodes.
Let's start talking about that video right now.
Yeah. And the revival in general.
Yeah.
Because this is kind of, why we're doing this now. Like we're talking about doing it and then realized that there was a new season coming. And it is here, and
it's pretty good.
Yeah, I love the overall revival. It started with Beavis and Butthead do the universe, and then continued into the series. It's a multiverse approach.
Yeah.
Which is which would be like it is getting to a point of frustration with multiverse stuff.
Yeah.
But I give this a complete pass.
Yeah, I feel like they do it right. They do it better. There's no... they're not going and showing a bunch of different Beavis and Buttheads wearing like different clothes or whatever.
Yeah, they're not like interacting with each other.
There's no team-ups. There's no...
Yeah, they're not crossing over.
Yeah, there's no crossover. It's just stories told from different universe perspectives, and I think that's a clean way to do it if that's what you're trying to do. And that's clearly, I think, what Mike Judge has been trying to do is kill them on screen with nobody questioning.
Well, how come they're alive next week?
Isn't the show over if they both die? Not if there's a multiverse. I think that was all. And, middle-aged Beavis and Butthead's kind of
such a blessing to have both. It's an embarrassment of riches, really.
Yeah, that's the great thing about the new series.
I love smart Beavis and Butthead, too.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen, a quick rundown on Do the Universe, if you haven't seen this or aren't familiar with what happened here, they did the original series, and then there was a revival for one season in 2011, and there was no explanation for why they were still 15 and, 12 years later. Not that you really need one with cartoons.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been fine for The Simpsons and South Park. They've been in the same grade.
Yeah,
for
and
30
it's not
years.
like it was timeless or anything. Like they go to see Twilight in the first episode of the reboot.
Yeah. It remained like somewhat current culturally at least. But then comes the Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe, which kind of threw the whole thing. The time loop, the time aspect is so in the movie they end up in space for reasons, and they get sucked into a wormhole into the present day, into 2022 at the time. Probably.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
not exactly the present, but in modern time, post-COVID America. And they have no idea they're in the future, and they just sort of pick up their lives as they were. They do a lot of stuff in that's pretty funny with cell phones. They don't know what it is. They just know that they can use it as a credit card.
Yeah.
Which I think there was an old episode that they got a hold of a credit card at some point too. So
yeah. We'll be covering that pretty soon, I think.
Is it maybe in season 2?
It's way at the beginning of season 2. It's like the second or third episode, I think.
So it's already like you can see like the concepts are kind of like what would that episode be if they did it today. I
Yeah.
think is it just some of the gags that are in the movie and stuff like that. And then at the end of it, they end up in the present day, and that's where they live now. And that's sort of where the series starts. I think it's debatable. I think when you get to the series, it may be yet another new sort of universe unofficially. There are some appearances of smart Beavis and Butthead, who in the movie, that's the other part of the movie. The plot of the movie is the universe is they're in the present, and there's something they have to do. I don't remember. They have to bring some item to a mountain or something.
Yeah,
There's a smart Beavis and Butthead that come down in a spaceship and try to tell them that they're in the future and what's happened. And of course, they're not having it. They don't understand at all. They think they're going somewhere to score. It's very much a remake or retelling of Beavis and Butthead Do America in a way.
I think Smart Beavis does score with.
He does. Well, so
who they're trying to score with.
The astronaut that brings them to space figures out that they're just perverts and trying to do her. And they screw up and they need the oxygen. So she's the one who flings them into outer space. They end up in a wormhole. And in the present day, she is now like a senator or something.
Yeah.
So she's now finds out they're in the present and what's happened. And she's trying to track them down. So it's like she's kind of the stand-in for the Robert Stack character in a way.
Yeah.
Of like the one chasing them across the country, and as they try to complete this mission given to them by smart Beavis and Butthead. And hijinks across America.
Yeah.
For a second time. For two really dumb guys, they've seen more of the country than I have.
That's true. They've seen a lot.
Multiple times. So that's the movie that sort of sets up the reboot, and now they're in the third season. We just watched the premiere episodes. The first one is called Braces, and it basically the plot is Beavis he's eating a caramel apple. Butthead demands he gets a bite of it, so it immediately gets stuck in his braces.
Yeah, he tries to cram the entire apple in his mouth, like take a bite across like the top of the apple.
Which already makes no sense.
Yeah.
But it gets stuck, and Beavis decides to get it out of his mouth. He's gonna just swing a baseball bat at it.
Yeah,
and
he tries to pull it out before that, and that is a laugh out loud moment as well.
Yeah, there's some very it's very reminiscent of some early episodes, like the one when Beavis got stuck in the blood machine or blood pressure.
Oh yeah,
thing, and Butthead's trying to help him get out of it, but he's trying to pull his hand through the wrong side.
Yes.
You get the impression in a lot of these episodes where it's like it'll be one of them is hurt and the other one has to go get help.
Yeah.
And they don't quite get back in time, or they come back with the misunderstanding the directions.
But yeah, so Butthead then hits him with the baseball bat, and he hits the apple out of his mouth, and they do like almost a baseball movie, like it's going gone sort of moment, where like the apple disappears into the sun, and they go chasing after it and find Butthead's braces are still attached.
Yes. Which prompts Butthead he goes to look at his reflection and realizes he's beautiful now. And the rest of the episode is basically just the absolute confidence of Butthead that he is now beautiful, and just very uncomfortably licking his teeth quite a bit.
Yeah, and he has his gums are even more prominent than they were when he had braces. So it's like beyond Charlie Kirk. It's like almost weird, like body horror. How much gums there are.
His gums do become. I don't know if they even necessarily draw them bigger. They just focus on them so much that you just realize how big they've been this whole time.
That might be.
I'm sure they protrude a little more than usual, maybe.
Yeah. So then he leaves Beavis's lunch table to go sit with the popular kids.
Yeah. No. He's convinced that he's now one of the popular kids.
Yeah. And so then they get up and leave the table, and he thinks that's because now he thinks that they think they're not cool enough to sit at this table
obviously,
anymore.
that's the issue.
Because he's sitting at it now.
Yeah. At some point, then Butthead tries to send Beavis to sit with Milton, who is like the new steward.
Yeah, he was the kid that they played video games with.
Yeah, in an earlier.
I think that was season 2. I'm not. And he had the very encouraging parents.
Season 2 of the reboot, or season 9 if you're nasty.
Yeah.
I've seen some lists that count these as 9, 10, and 11, or 8, 9, and 10, or something like that.
Yeah, I think it would be 9, 10, and 11. Because the 2011 I think was season 8.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. At any rate, what happens next is Butthead gets tired of Beavis, or Beavis rather gets tired of Butthead. Trying to quit hanging out with him.
And he decides to put the braces back on with the baseball bat because that's how they came off. So it only makes sense.
Yeah, because the braces were stuck to the wooden bat. And he just tries to beat them back into his face.
Yes.
He hits him 3 or 4 times, too. It's very brutal.
I mean, he was kind of right in a way. I mean, by the end of the episode, Beavis or Butthead has to go back to wearing braces because half his teeth got knocked out.
Yeah, he loses all of his teeth, and they have to put them back in. And wire his jaw shut.
Yeah,
he has a whole cage around his head after.
Yeah, he's in this giant cast / metal thing holding his head up situation at the end of the episode.
I think this one and the next one we're gonna talk about are just classic Beavis and Butthead stuff.
Because I feel like I can't think of an example, but I feel like there's other episodes where Butthead feels like something has made him prettier or better in some way. I feel like that's happened before.
And Beavis has to take him back down a notch. You know which one I'm thinking of is Nice Butthead, when he gets sent to therapy, and they give Butthead pills that curb his aggression, and so he becomes very nice. And Beavis can't take it, so he.
I think that was in the reboot, though. I think that's
in the last couple last season,
so
maybe.
Maybe the closest comparison is from a newer season, although it's not that it isn't character traits that have always been there, though. They definitely are.
Yeah, there's definitely there may have been also a time or two where Butthead would try to ditch Beavis because he thought he gets to hang out with Todd or something like that. But yeah, he's tried to get rid of him before in other episodes. So yeah, that's pretty much. I mean, that's the resolution of this one. Is Beavis just beats the braces back into his face.
Yeah.
He is there's a very funny line when after he hits him a bunch of times and he goes, "Are they back in? Are they back in?" And he's like, "No, I don't really know why I thought that would work."
Yeah. Fight tips.
Oh yeah, there's there are 2 videos during this one.
Yeah, there were 2 videos. There was fight tips. I didn't take a lot of notes, but fight tips was the one with the 2 guys, and they kept making fun of like that the one guy's mom was banging the other dude's dad.
Yeah,
and they had to make videos together.
yeah, they're a mixed, blended family
Yeah.
that's being forced to play with each other. They're called Fight Tips is the YouTube channel, and they're called Shane and Ant. And this is where one of those instances where the banter during the videos reveals a lot more about their upbringing, I think, than some of the storylines in the episodes. Because you get the impression that this has happened to Beavis quite a few times, where he's been made to go play with his new step sibling that he doesn't like.
They put a lot of back. It's kind of, I remember, I think it was the walk video where they made a whole backstory for Pantera, and they're like, "Quit being a pussy, Pantera. Go up to your room." And it was very much kind of that vibe, I think.
Yeah, it'll be like these very detailed scenarios that they're assigning to the people in the video, but it's clearly something they've seen before. Especially for Beavis, for a character who's been saying "thank you, drive through" for 40 years because he was told to say it at work as a teenager all the time.
So he just thought that was how you say it.
Yeah, that's just how you sign off with people. That should be our sign off.
Yes. All right. Yes. That beats Funk That.
Yeah. You won't see that sign off in the other episodes for me.
No. So, and then stunt training was the other video that was like basically one guy shooting another guy with a BB gun.
Yeah.
Or also maybe pelting rocks at him. One of the guys was like weirdly in shape, and the other one wasn't so much.
He was weird. He's weirdly in shape but with still like a regular guy face.
Yeah.
And that was they were teeing off on that quite a bit.
Yeah. And then they were like throwing stuff at his butt.
Yeah,
and playing it in slow motion.
There's Beavis gets a very good riffs off in that one.
I remember Butthead said something like, "The ripples in his butt remind me of like when you throw a rock at a lake and then like you throw one at a guy's butt and it makes ripples just like that." I love those kind of jokes.
Yeah.
It was so overall,
it's funny how much smarter they are during the videos.
Yeah,
they're smart enough to set up jokes with callbacks and punchlines and everything.
Yeah,
which is hilarious. How do you rate this first one?
I'd give this like 3 stars. I think it's maybe even 4. I don't know about 4. The beginning is really funny, and the ending is really funny. I was a little put off by the giant gums.
I think that's the idea, though.
Yeah,
I think he succeeded.
Yeah, I think Mike Judge kind of likes that sort of humor. I don't really get into that so much, but I wasn't super into that. But what did you think of it?
I'm going 4. Because I did enjoy the Butthead licking his teeth and just not so much the body horror of it, but just the idea that he's so confident and so sure that he's beautiful now. Yeah, is so funny. The way that he's just walking around with like showing his new teeth off, because it's a very innocent like idea to have as like a teenager who's just got your braces removed. Yeah, albeit in a sort of brutal way, but still, I think for most kids that have had braces, they probably spent a long time fantasizing about being able to smile without
Yeah.
without feeling self-conscious about it. And I always find it entertaining when these two jack-offs get to experience regular teenager stuff.
Yeah.
So that part of it I enjoy.
I hadn't thought
too.
about it that way. That's a good. Those are all good points.
And and the setup, obviously classic cartoon violence.
Yeah.
Always funny.
So good.
That, and then the outcome, and we've seen it over and over, which is anytime these two get separated, one of them can't stand it.
Yeah.
One of them, they always have to come back together, and and sometimes it's forced. Like in this one, Beavis was like, "All right, I've had enough of this. We've got to ugly you back up." So yeah, I'm going 4 stars on this one.
Yeah, that's fair.
The next episode or next short, these are going to be, so at some point in this series, there's half-hour episodes with 2 shorts. So we'll have to figure out how we're going to do that when we get to those. I think it starts with season 2, maybe.
No.
Is it later?
I think it's later, yeah.
Okay. So I don't know. We'll probably still usually review 1 short at a time, but like I said, with this one, these are just a quick sort of day of reactions and whatnot. So the other one was called Heart Attack. It's right away an old Beavis and Butthead short in the first episode for the season.
Yeah.
Which is great because I love old Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, I think old Beavis and Butthead have been kind of breakout characters. I've seen a lot of like memes with them in them going around and stuff. So yeah, I think people have connected with them.
I relate to them more.
I would expect to see even more of the, because they were used pretty sparingly, I think, in the first season, maybe a little more in the next. I feel like we might get half an episode from them like every time this time. We'll see how it goes, but
yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised.
There are less of them in the first 2 revival seasons.
I'm hoping we get some Anderson war stories. We didn't in these first 2 episodes, but we'll see if they go back to that little, because I think that's just if the episode comes up a little short and they need to fill some time in between the 2.
Yeah. In Heart Attack, old Butthead has a heart attack, and it's up to Beavis to go get help. And I mean that's the setup. They're coming back from somewhere, from grocery shopping, I think.
Yes. And Beavis is carrying the groceries while Butthead is riding a rascal and refuses to put the groceries in his basket because he needs room for his personal accessories, even though at the time he doesn't have any.
Yeah. I first of all, the old Beavis is, I love the fact that old Butthead is so fat that he rides a rascal scooter.
Yes.
That is so funny to me. Because realistically, like, one of them would be fat. Like, there's a very good chance. And Beavis is, like, it's just fits him so perfectly that he's, like, the old skinny fat guy that's, like, he's probably would usually be the more likely one to have a heart attack. I know, obesity, but there's that skinny guy thing where some of them eat even worse because they're able to, it doesn't show up on them the same way.
Yeah.
So they just eat like shit.
So then they're headed up the stairs. Butthead takes a break on the stairs to smoke a cigarette.
Yeah.
And then he makes it up, and there's just a great, hilarious moment where he has a heart attack while falling down the stairs.
He's already falling when he has it.
Yes.
He has a heart attack, and Butthead tries to drive the scooter away and keeps running him over with it.
Yes.
And Butthead is so committed to the dickhead Butthead thing.
Yeah. Well.
What's he say? He goes, "I'm injured."
Yeah.
Something like that.
But even before Beavis goes to get help, Butthead's telling him what's going on, and when Butthead said that his left arm is numb, Beavis tells him to try to do a stranger. And Butthead's like, I don't have the energy. It's a really good idea, though.
A stranger, if you don't know, is where you sit on your hand until it's numb. And
Or
then you
have a heart attack, I guess.
Or have a heart attack. and once your hand is numb, you do things with it that you do in private. And it feels as though another person is doing it. Then that was his suggestion during Butthead's heart attack. Yeah, so Beavis goes to get help, and obviously he gets sidetracked a whole bunch of times.
Yeah, this is a lot like the episode, I think it's just called Choke, where Butthead's choking on chicken, and Beavis goes... Well, first Beavis calls 911, and they tell him that there's signs in restaurants on how to do the Heimlich maneuver.
Oh.
So he goes to Burger World, but gets distracted a bunch of times on the way, and then comes back with like a bunch of signs that they had at Burger World, but he wasn't sure what the right one was.
Yeah. Yeah, it's these situations where one of them is hurt,
Yeah,
and the other one just utterly fails at helping.
we'll have a more in-depth analysis of that one. Stay tuned. It'll be in, I don't know, a year and a half.
Choked, or the one where Beavis is bleeding. His nose is bleeding.
Yeah, the nosebleed.
And Butthead is trying to get help.
I think that might just be called nosebleed. They have very simple.
Yeah, the same thing sort of happens.
These episodes. So then he goes to the doctor, and he just gets a checkup.
Yeah,
and then he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm here because of my friend." And he's like, "What's up with your friend?" And he's like, "My friend's fat, and he's not feeling good because he's fat."
Yeah. I did note, because I wrote this down, because he says my roommate Butthead he's fat and he doesn't feel good. And the doctor tells him he needs to eat better and exercise to lose weight. And Beavis thinks that is his instruction on how to help him with his heart attack.
Yes.
But I forgot what I was gonna say there. The reason because he says roommate, which I thought was interesting, because you don't hear a lot of like what their relationship is, as far as like my cousin, or if they're related somehow, or
I'm not sure if they know, but their living situation is at least better defined.
That's true. They are at least sharing an apartment at this point.
Yeah, because they are the adults, even though they're pretty terrible adults that don't really understand how jobs work.
Yeah, they clearly get Social Security checks for most likely being mentally handicapped. At least Beavis, because he says in one of these episodes that his IQ is 69. So I think he qualifies for a mentally handicapped Social Security check. And Beavis or Butthead probably gets one for being too fat to work.
Yeah. So he interprets eating better as eating a bunch of cheeseburgers. So he buys cheeseburgers
and fries.
Yeah, and then like goes to where Butthead's having the heart attack and like shoves cheeseburgers in his face.
Yeah, and gets him up. Tries to get him up. He tries to help him do jumping jacks, and then gets him to do a jog around the block.
Yep. And then EMS shows up, and he's like, "Nah, he's fine."
Yeah. Yeah, because during the time, while Beavis is gone, Butthead is still laying at the bottom of the steps, and their neighbor, neighbor comes through and tries to help him, and she's like, "Is there anything I can do?" And Butthead starts giggling right away.
Yeah,
and you just know what's coming, and he finally says it, "Me." And she just kind of kicks him and runs away.
Yeah, he laughs.
That reminded me of the.
Also, I think she's wearing scrubs. Like,
I think
she was kind of supposed to be like a nurse or someone.
Yeah.
Who actually could have helped him.
Yeah. That joke reminded me of the chicken bone one too, because when he's trying to tell him he's choking, Beavis, I keep doing that. Beavis goes, "Well, what? You're choking your chicken?" And Butthead starts laughing through his choking. So no matter what the situation is, he's gonna get that in.
Yeah.
But there's also there's a video in this one. Metal video.
Ditch by Lamb of God.
Lamb of God.
Yeah.
This one, the best joke in that one, I think, is he says it's in the video. It's a heavy metal video, and it's just a whole bunch of people trying to stab each other.
Yeah.
And he goes, "All these people trying to stab each other are white."
No, he says, "All of these people that are trying to stab each other have white privilege."
Oh, yeah, white privilege. And they both just spend the rest of the video kind of laughing about how this is a very white people thing to do.
Yeah.
Trying to stab each other.
There was another joke I liked in that video where he's like, "Boy, a video like this really reminds me of other times in my life where we sat and watched videos. Good times." As if that's not what they're doing right now.
Yeah.
But he's thinking of him in the 90s.
Yeah. It's so good, the old Beavis and Butthead. Lamb of God. They're like, he's like, they try to headbang, and he's like, that hurts. I don't know how we used to do that all the time.
Yes.
This is probably one of the many reasons they have Social Security check. They headbanged themselves into mental handicaps. Yeah. What do you got on this one? For a rating.
I think I'm willing to give this my first 5 stars. This was a classic Beavis and Butthead episode. Well put together, well executed. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 5 as well. I love that. It's comforting to see old Beavis and Butthead do very much in character young Beavis and Butthead things, but in a natural, like, a guy that looks like Butthead at this age would probably have a heart attack.
Yeah.
It's all
it works.
It works perfectly, and it's classic Beavis and Butthead stuff. And I feel like this season already starting off is like Mike Judge is he's just killing it right now.
Yeah,
he's doing the King
really
of the
is.
Hill revival is still going on.
Yeah, that's fantastic too.
I haven't seen those. I've never really watched.
I haven't finished it, but I've seen the
beginning.
first couple episodes and they're fantastic.
I may
Really good.
wait and do them. Maybe we'll do that next.
Yeah.
I may wait and watch it for the first time on one of these shows here. Yeah, 5 stars.
So
Very
yeah,
good. These are already 2 very good episodes, or 2 shorts.
yeah, great,
Um,
great way to start off the season. Excellent season premiere. Thank you, Drive Through.
yeah.